Welcome to Lucky Talk That Talk. Welcome to Lucky Talk That Talk. We talk everything and anything. Period. Anyways. Hi guys, welcome to Lucky Talk That Talk. We talk everything and anything, right? So today we have Lucky here. I'm Lucky. I will be the host. I am the host. Who else can be the host of this show, right? So today it's basically an introduction of myself and the channel, the podcast, what the podcast is about, what to expect, and what we're trying to do here, right? So let's just start with who is Lucky. I'm Lucky. I'm your friendly yapper and your spiritual seeker. My journey is about learning, teaching, and connecting with others as a spiritual being. I'm here to explore the depths of understanding in both ourselves and the world around us. Right? So, Lucky is basically, or this side of who I am, Lucky, is someone that always have information or always seeking information to share with others and always willing to learn information from others, right? I feel as if everybody needs to wake up. I feel as if we are too involved in the world, meaning that we cannot look to ourselves for anything. We always look for the world. We don't seek to know beyond the scope or the lens of the physical, right? Because I feel like everything is spiritual and everything has to happen in the physical realm, in the spiritual realm before it can become into the physical realm, right? So yeah. What is Lucky Talk That Talk podcast about? So Lucky Talk That Talk is a social experiment, an invitation for myself and others to come together in a conversation, right? As I say, I'm trying to build a community here, but it's also a social experiment for myself because I struggle with socializing. I I have an issue with just talking to people or being in an environment where I have to talk. I rather to stay mute because that's what I know and that's what I'm used to, right? But no, it's like I'm always okay in talking with my friends, but I'm not okay talking with people. So that's why sometimes I stutter. I don't pronounce my words properly. I, you know, I just have a big struggle, a big issue with just speaking overall, right? So this is where I am putting myself out there and trying to work on me socializing, me connecting with others, and me also creating an community and environment that is safe enough for people like me or anyone that is willing or wants to like find interest in what I'm doing, right? So yeah. Next is this podcast is my way of creating a supportive environment where we can socialize freely, speak our mind without getting lost in our thoughts. You get it? Love it. Right? This podcast is a community for those who are brave enough to look beyond the known into the unknown, exploring life without judgment and fostering understanding. We will dive into a multitude of topics from the physical to the spiritual, discussing everything of our interest. You get me? So, as I said before, we are always like growing up is like we learn from our parents because they have learned from their parents, which is our grandparents, right? But we have never questioned certain things they have said to us. We just work with it. Because that's just our society, Jamaica, right? I can only speak of Jamaica, right? Because I'm a Jamaican and that's where I grew up. That's where I was born and raised, right? I cannot speak otherwise. If it's relatable to where you have your origin and all of that, then kudos. But I can only speak of what I have experienced growing up as a child living in Jamaica with their parents, right? Also, because we have never asked our parents, why is it we need to do this? Why is it that you guys say this? We have never asked them that. So now we are just doing things because of what our parents would say. You get me? Same like how your mother or grandmother can say to you, oh, I'm thinking. Give me a second. Oh my God. Whoa. Hold on. There's nothing in my head right now. Why am I blank? That's madness, yo. Yo, that's really madness. Give me a minute. I had to think for a minute on what, we normally, our parents normally say to us that we just work with. Like, we don't question them or anything. Like, with me growing up, it was not people say, but what they did. Basically, um, we call that in the morning, washing the yard. Like, we never question, like, why did y'all do that? We just know that we had to do it, which is set the water in the night, right? The water sits the at the in like on the veranda, at the gate, wherever it is. And then in the morning you use that same water to wash off the yard and then you sweep and all of that. We never question as to why did y'all do that? No, we just work with it, right? So now what I'm basically trying to say is that the things that we ignored, we're going to question them now. The things that was normal, that might not be normal, we're going to question them now. Because I realized that a lot of us, including myself, grew up in like dysfunctional homes and we pretend it was normal or we think it was normal and it wasn't, right? It wasn't at all. And that kind of shaped us into who we are because now we have bad habits, we have um behaviors that is so normal to us when it's not. You get me? We can't even have a conversation without getting being ignorant or being talk about this right now. Sorry. Right? We cannot have a conversation where we're level headed. You hear me, I hear you, you understand me, I understand you, and we come to a, a level of comprehension. We cannot do that. It's either you don't agree with me, then XYZ, 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 XYZ. But I think I need to cuss it. So you could have said, yo, go suck your mother, pussy. The next man could have said, what I fuck, right? But because you dark and ignorant, and you know what here, nobody ever say. Because we tend to think people that are opinionated are trying to dictate to you when it's not like that. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their take on any topic, any say. So this is where we have an open space of understanding ourselves and also understanding each topic that we do discuss. Right? Um, what to expect, right? Ah, what to expect to get ready for engaging conversations where we talk openly. No subject is off limits, right? Reason together, we'll strive for understanding, embracing different perspective, having fun, expect laughter and light-hearted moments as we learn and grow together. right? As I said, no topic is off limits. When I say no topic, no topic. I'm always open to have a conversation. I'll also be asking y'all for like any topics you want me to speak on. And I tell you, it can be anything. Anything, right? Why did I start this podcast? I'm driven to build a community, as I said before, a space where those seeking something different can come together. This is being authentic, embracing who we are, and expanding our understanding of life on a larger scale. Heavy on authentic, heavy on being yourself, because as I said before, social media and what we know as to say in this world, we have lost ourselves. You get me? I've lost myself before, multiple times, but no, I can say I'm level headed. You know, I know can stand on my morals, my integrity, my values, all of that. Nobody or nothing can shift that for me because I have set a foundation for myself. And that foundation is always caring for myself, making sure that I'm making the best decision and making sure that I'm putting my best foot forward in anything that I do, right? So that's basically what I am trying to build here, a community where we know who we are and we can stand on what is right, not the wrong. You get me? Meaning that you know that talking to that boy is wrong, but you want to talk to him because you like to be toxic. Knowing that you being toxic, there's nothing serving you. You're not receiving anything. That boy, that man is taking away your energy. You get me? But you don't understand or you're not listening to your body to know that you need to walk away from the situation, right? And then when you do choose to walk away, you behave as if it's all his fault when you had your own personal role in everything that's happening. You get me? We lack accountability. So it's all about learning, accepting, respecting everything about yourself. So we're going to take accountability, respect ourselves, love ourselves, do self-reflection. You get me? Understand everybody's point of view, but also understanding when to walk away, forgiving and releasing, not having anybody pent up in your heart, not holding resentment to anyone, because that will only keep you stagnant. You'll be stuck. Mm, right? We don't want that. We want to be able to move forward and look back and to say, I have grown and I see where you weren't mature enough for me. You weren't ready for me. And I was sent here to help you to get ready for something else that's coming for you. You get me? We're not wishing bad on anybody. We're not trying to move in a evil spirit. You get me? Because I can't say negative because we need negative and positive to balance out life. You need both of them to balance out life. You get me? So I can't say, oh, but no. Anyways, so I basically just want to build a community for people my age older because older and younger to know that yes, we can live our life, but you guys aren't living on, you guys aren't living with any integrity. You guys have no integrity. You guys do everything for your ego, for your pride. You can't sit and understand, have another take on life. You guys only view life one way. Just one way. And that's madness. I feel like that is madness. Right? How will this podcast provide value? As I said before, insights. Each episode will offer valuable perspective and insight on a range of topics, interviews, which will be like I'll have guests from various backgrounds, providing their unique perspective and stories. To be honest, I will have a lot of people. Right now, there will be mostly like friends and families and stuff like that. Yeah, because we're not really, you know. So yeah, we'll be like interviewing. When I say anybody, anybody, I do not care. I want to hear what you have to say on any topic, and I'm always open to have a conversation. Right? Educational content. We will focus on informative discussion that empowered and enrich our listeners' knowledge. Creative music and creativity. Expect creative element that enhance the overall experience and connect us through art. I love art. I love music. I love music. Love music. I can sit and hear like every instrument that builds up a rhythm, right? Yeah. I love new artists. I will have a lot of new artists if I can find them on this channel because I love to hear like what made you choose to do music and how is it that you're choosing to sing about these stuff? Because I feel like yes, we sing about what we live every day or what we see every day, but do everybody has to sing about the same thing? Drugs, females, sh 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 nyam dog haga rat. Huh? That makes sense. Like I'm being honest. Yeah. And most of these songs degraded has been degrading women on every level possible. And I don't like it. I do not like it. I'm not for it, right? The length and format of the podcast. So length episode I would love for 30 minutes the most. Cannot go any longer right now. Right. And the format will be both audio and visual. I'll be setting that up. So let's just have a conversation. Right. As I said, it's just the introduction, to be honest. It's really getting to know who Lucky is, also getting to know what the podcast is about. As I already went through everything, you get me? Not, I think y'all needed to know. It's time to like Lucky to talk, right? So I started having conversation with my peers on, I would say the only social media platform was Instagram, where I say anything and I think another perspective needs to, or another view needs to be there, then I'll speak on it. You get me? And I realized that while talking, my peers would be like, you're making me see things different. And I never thought of things that way. And that made me, that gave me like a feeling to say, am I inspirational? Right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Also, in last year, something happened and I started a self-love podcast for myself where I would have a various type of topics that I would sit and talk about with myself, record myself and everything, right? And then I'm like, what? Am I supposed to start a podcast? Not sure, right? Next was anytime something happens, I'll just take out my phone and record myself just talking. And I'll be talking mad shit. That's why I say, lucky talk that shit. Because I do not care what I say sometimes. But because I'm on YouTube now, or I'm trying to do a podcast, I have to be mindful of certain things that I say. Because I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, nor am I trying to, you know, do anything of that sort. I'm not. So I have to be mindful of what I say and how I say it because people do take things out of context, but it's all about learning here. So if you have an issue, please go and get some tissue because you might be crying. But anyways, right? So Lucky started from Instagram. I have a page where there's literally nobody on it. And I do not want anybody on it. I have a page for the podcast itself, but when it comes down to my personal page, I'm not for the whole social media thing. It's a struggle, to be honest. It gets too much for me and overbearing at times. Because even with the little bit amount of people that I have, it's still an issue, to post sometimes. So I will post and just delete it. Why? You get me? Um, Next thing is, so me doing this is to get myself out of that. I think I will still hold some part of it, but also being able to have enough confidence within myself and to just be an ear for people that needs it. Because half of the people that I used to go to school with, half of the people that I know, like, that meet up at trees and stuff like that, the things that I'm telling them, I'm like, what happened? You know? And it's where I realize that we are really living a life for this world and not for ourselves. We're consuming too much of the world's view and not getting in touch back with ourselves, getting in touch back with who we are. You get me? And stuff like that. So Lucky is just here to talk. Lucky's just here to learn. I love to learn. Lucky's here to like give information and give you tools because you need tools to move forward in life. You are giving each thing that you go through in life, you are given a specific tool to help you on the next journey, right? So if you're used to being abandoned, you have abandonment issues, then you know that you might be abandoned again. So you have received the tool of understanding the feeling and not holding resentment to anybody so that you are able in the next step, in the next cycle of life, to be okay being alone and to be okay with sitting in solitude and not saying, I'm lonely, I'm by myself. No, you're by yourself, but at the same time, you have to love you being by yourself. Because love you being by yourself is where you're able to hear yourself more, right? So it's where we're really trying to like go down to the root of certain issues that we have and just to have an open conversation at all time, right? I would love, yeah. So at all time. So as we get this growing and get this going, I would love a co-host, but for now, I think I need to be here by myself. I think a co-host would just always give me the confidence, but I need to do this for myself, by myself for a time. I will be interviewing people. I'll be interviewing friends and family and people that I don't know or I find interest in, right? And as we grow, we get more equipment and stuff like that. Because for now, I'm just using a ring light and my phone. I'm going to get about microphones and stuff like that and more lights. And I also have a better tripod to hold the phone. So, yeah, this is, look at that talk. And thank you for watching. I hope you hear and understand and is open to see a wider picture of what I'm trying to say. But thank you for watching Lucky Talk That Talk. And you can follow us on all socials. On TikTok, it's Lucky SDG. On Instagram, it's Lucky TTT podcast underscore. So have a good day.